Once again, it's your main man, her shine on Dr. Life. The her is my wife. Her shine on Dr. Life and the Dr. Lifesavers. So we're of the graduating class of 1993, Pine Forge Academy. And for those of y'all who don't know, Pine Forge Academy is a on its 75th year of being the only boarding academy people of color, male and female co-ed boarding academy in the world of the sons and daughters of God. The everlasting gospel, school of the prophets, sons and daughters of God, boarding academy for high school students, only one in the world. 75 years, the school of the prophets, the sons and daughters of God, have been going to right outside of Pennsylvania, Pine Forge Academy. So, on the 30th year anniversary, every class always comes back and puts a plan in place to give something back to the school as a permanent monumental in the future to represent their class and the union going forward with the school. And so this coming year is the year where our class is going to do that. So the thing that me and my class have been talking about for the past 30 years that was there when we were there was something called Pine Forge Industries. We don't call it Pine Forge Industries. We had a performing arts group that was founded on our backs in 1993. Creative Arts was founded. We are the bedrock of creative arts. And creative arts has gone around the world putting the A in Pine Forge Industries. The A stands for Abundant Life. Pine Forge Abundant Life Industries. Okay? My wife and I, we are Dr. Lifesavers. The sick have need of a physician. My wife is a physical therapist. My wife nursed me back to health. My wife spoke over my life. I would not be here without the renowned supernatural, life saving abilities that God gave for the desires of her heart. She simply said, when my life was on the line, we're not finished. And she has said the same thing about these streets that we live in. So we simply throw out have life preservers, have lifelines. We are the Slumdog Pavillionaires matchmakers. The number one thing that we specialize in breaking the cycle of, and the number one thing that we both told God that we needed to break the cycle of in our upbringing was broken homes and broken marriages. So the number one lifeline and have life preserver that we throw out is the Slumdog Pavillionaires marriage makers have lifeline where you could dial up. Remember when he was trying to hit the jackpot? The jackpot men. The jackpot. And we're creating a professional league for us all to compete in and practice year round. And then bring as couples. It's the first ever professional league where couples compete together. You know how they got CrossFit, the Mrs. and Mr. Renown HolywoodGrail Games, or ITB Fit Games. That's what it is. The ITB Fit Games. Because we carry the cross. The cross are the children. The cross are the babies. Lay up your treasures in heaven. We carry the cross. The wait is over. It's finished. All we doing is we going to publicly come together in our circle, and we going to share our intramurals. This is an intramurals. Don't nobody had nothing to say about this. We've been doing this since we've been together at High Pine in high school and college. We got an intramural, and all we doing is we taking our intramural. We got our own referees. We got our own rules. We got our own fields where we play, and all we gonna do is put these intramurals. But to compete, you got to compete as a husband and a wife. You got to compete in the games as a husband and a wife. And then we got games for the whole family where you compete, husband, wife, and all your children against other husband and wives and children. And the only thing that's going to happen is just like how Pine Forge benefited from other people wanting to come in. When we go and take the Pine Forge Industries in the beginning fit in Florida, we already created the headquarters. We kept seeing the whole world come down to the wild world of sports, the Walt Disney Wild World of Sports. So we've created the number one competitor. Y'all already coming down to Florida and playing for nothing, playing for free. Y'all paying them to go and no, we inverting that for in our intramurals. In our intramurals, you got to already be in our family group. You got to already be ascribed to in our Mr. and Mrs. Renown Pro. And we're gonna have combines for the husbands and wives to come and see if you make the cut and playing in our professional. And then we have the games, meaning my little son is the head. He got a team. He's a head engineer around creating the games where we can take this online and we all can compete year round. We all can practice and train year round in a simulator. That's only for practice. This is the anti-contagion league. This is the anti-contagion league. And just like the NFL and them, they come together. And we not about to broadcast, tell y'all no lies that individuals, listen, everybody in our league, listen. We got a medical facility where if you've taken that contagion shot, we could take you through the process to strengthen your immune system to get that shot and the virus out of your system, to reverse the shots. Your job is to commit to make sure that you ain't going to bring no more of that sickness, because that's what's giving y'all the sickness. All of y'all who taking that contagion, y'all are the ones who are spreading the contagion. Your body has supernatural immunity against any virus. Once it gets it the first time, your body's going to make the adjustment and build stronger white blood cells. So you'll never, ever, all you had to do was strengthen your immune system, weather the storm. And so if you have taken the contagion shot, we have still a process. I seen with my own eyes that somebody who came in to the facility that I'm talking about. I went there to naturally, supernaturally strengthen my immune system. And then there was somebody who came in and they're in a profession, and so they had taken the contagion shot just before they came up there. And when they did the snapshot on the intake, they saw something in their blood that they don't ever see when they take the snapshot of your blood when you first come in. And then when you leave after the whole treatment, they always take a snapshot and they review what your blood looks like before you leave. And that contagion shot that was there was no longer present in the blood. And so this is the message that our pro league is going to do. In the midst, while everybody is talking about contagion, the people getting sick. Well, if they patted Loma Linda on the back for being a blue zone, we're going to show you the urban blue zone. We're going to create urban blue zones all around the world around individuals who would never, ever, ever put that mess in our bodies, because our bodies are already designed to defeat any and all viruses. As long as you don't let them fool you to inject into you a virus that they're souping up. So if they're souping up the virus, and then they're giving you a shot, they're giving you a souped up shot that has a souped up virus in the shot. Why you think you getting sick and still spreading it? And then it's called brainwashing, where they make you believe that the individuals who don't have the souped up shot are the ones who are spreading the contagion. How are you getting a shot and then getting sick and then getting other people sick? You are the one spreading the contagion. And the very media outlets that are promoting this, you have to understand there are 6 families that control all of 98% of all media is controlled by 6 families, 6 European families. So every message that you hear in print, on radio, news, television, CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox, they're all controlled by the same families. So you tell me, these same families are the ones that own Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. The same families that are profiting off of this shot, they're the ones who are controlling the doctors, the CDC, your politicians. See, there's a process called lobbying, and Donald Trump and them go to all of these billionaires, and now there's no regulation on how much they can spend. So they go around and they like, listen, we want to do this. And as long as they pay enough, and as long as enough of them people get paid, they're selling you a narrative that doesn't even make sense. First of all, they scared you into believing that you needed to take a contagion shot. For what? For what? What does the shot do? It gives you the virus. That's what it does. Y'all the ones who believed it was going to cure you, or y'all the ones who believed it was going to prevent you from if you got it, it was going to prevent you from dying. Who told you that? Where'd you get that information from? What study did you look at that told you if I take this, it will, even if I get sick, I won't? Who verified that? And there's no way that is true for everybody, because your health and my health is not identical. So there is no group that could be true for. There is zero groups, because nobody's health. Some of y'all been smoking for 30 plus years. Some of y'all been doing dope and meth and all that for no, your health and your immune system and my immune system. So nothing that they can say is going to apply to any group the same. So there is no benefit for any shot. No shot can benefit any group. The one thing that will benefit everybody is if everybody strengthened their immune system. No matter if you've been on crack for 40 years, no matter if you've been smoking for 20 years, if you have high blood pressure, no matter, every person, no matter what your health background is, if you invested in 8 months worth of strengthening your immune system, after 8 months straight, your body can weather any virus and attack. You can reverse cancer in 8 months. You can reverse any disease in 8 months. But the work that it takes to do that, it takes a totally different diet. It takes a specific amount of daily drinking of water. It takes a specific amount of exercise, fresh air. It takes a specific amount of sleep and rest at night. It takes eliminating specifically sugar, meat. And y'all would rather take the easy route and go to individuals who have been killing you forever and say, give me the easy solution other than adjusting my lifestyle that's already causing me to die in the first place. And then because other people won't join you in killing themselves, y'all eat to die. That's what the Food and Drug Administration knows. That's why they structured it with the food and the medicine. You eat their food and you're going to die. And then they're going to make money before you go into the grave, because you're going to need their medicine when they eat their food. They know if you eat their food, you're going to have to take their medicine, because the food is the poison that breaks your body down. And then they're going to manage and milk and make billions of dollars on your way to the grave. Food and Drug Administration, the Center for Disease Creation, the Catholic Disease Creation, the Catholic Disease Creation, the Catholic Disease Contagion. That's what CDC stands for. The Catholic Disease Contagion that they gave you. So make sure you tell your people, there's an antidote to what the Catholic disease contagion that they gave us. And in 8 months, we won't ever have to take another booster. In 8 months, we won't never have to take another contagion shot. And the longer we wait, when they come out with a new variant, based off of what they done put in you, every day you wait could be your last. But I guarantee you, if you give your body what the Creator gave you, your body will do what it's designed to do. And whenever you put man's plan above God's plan, you're already on your way to the grave. Anytime you run to a man to solve that which man is waging war against you at, you already are in violation with God. So I said all that to say, We created a league. We created games, but to bridge the gap between the league and the games, and most importantly, the whole thing around the Slumdog Billionaire Marriage Makers is we want to make this statement to our wives and our daughters. We the only men on earth who put our wives and our daughters in the right place as the apple of God's eye above us. I lay my life down and I lift. It's called the Cornerstone Deadlift. If you join this, if you want to bring your family to this professional league where we show the in the beginning marriage couple, the in the beginning Adam and Eve, the in the beginning one love, I wish above all things, the in the beginning prosperity and wealth, the in the beginning fitness, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper, be in health. And if you want to see the in the beginning worship covenant with God, even as your soul spiritually prospers, then that's what this league is designed to do. It's designed to erase Steve Harvey's mockery. It's designed to spit in the face of every person, including Oprah Winfrey and her love and marriage in Huntsville. It's designed to shut the mouth of every broadcast mocking relationships. And after we brought, including the Kardashians, satanic lifestyle. So they want to broadcast couples, they want to broadcast marriages. We're going to show you head and shoulders. We're going to show you who the queens of Sheba are. So if you are a man and you still believe that Christian lie, you still promoting feminism because you're an abuser, that's all feminism is. The abusers who enslaved women and children all the time, they're victims. Then they create a platform for their victims to go out and then recruit abominable lifestyles from the brokenness that these original males, they're the ones who created this trauma and this pain, and then they gonna shine the light over here and like, yeah, go talk about feminism. And then they keep coming up with talk shows, and they keep coming up with the Dr. Phil's, like he knows something about a relationship. They keep coming up with Steve Harvey. This dude got married a hooker. She's a dope kingpin who married two other dope kingpins. Then when they was going to prison and she was about to be investigated, she found the nearest sucker, and that's Steve Harvey. So she could still maintain her lifestyle. He destroys his wife's life. The woman who started out with him building a career, and then y'all let him be the person to advise you. Y'all got a nerve to let him? Yeah, because TD Jakes sold him to y'all. TD Jakes sold Steve Harvey. TD Jakes in the Potter's House sold Steve Harvey to Christian people. That's why he starts off his radio shows with his morning worship. Bro, you can't lead us in worship. Listen, that's Hophni and Phineas, yo. That's Aaron's son burning strange fire, yo. And for the black church to be that demonic that you can't discern, by their fruits ye shall know them. They mock the marriage covenant. That's why they have individuals like Steve Harvey go and write books about marriage, because their whole life is a mockery. And God said, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth. And then when you spend money and when you promote these individuals who are mocking God's most precious institution, that's why you suffer in your life. Because they supposed to starve. He wasn't supposed to sell one book. Not one book. Oprah Winfrey shouldn't get one view. She created the Jerry Springer show of marriage. That's what she created. Oprah Winfrey's Love and Marriage in Huntsville is the Jerry Springer show of marriage. So, and the Kardashian is the Roman circus. The Kardashians is the 300. The gladiators, the 300. And all these black niggas, these basketball players, these Hollywood stars, they are slaves in the gladiators arenas. We're going to show y'all that. So, to pull this all together, so that nobody, the thing about us in our intramural system is everything that y'all blacks always cried about, our dollar only bounced one time in our community. We do our stuff intramurals so that we control every level and every aspect of whatever it is we talk about. So no, we're not going to use an Apple iPhone. No, our job is to destroy Apple. Our job is to destroy Amazon. Every entity. Our one goal and purpose is to destroy the internet and the blockchain technology and the Bitcoin where they're moving their money to, because if you destroy where they're moving their money to, they can't destroy your money source. When you allow them to have a exit strategy and you're still over here in the old system that they created, you have no security. You are a sitting duck. And at any moment, because they have a whole new system of wealth over there, and you're in the old system of wealth, when they shut off the old system of wealth, what are you going to do? They already switched from the gold standard to the oil standard. The only difference is they kept the dollar when they did that. If tomorrow they switched to the Bitcoin standard, all of you who have no Bitcoin, you are at the mercy of all of them who have created 2.5 million brand new millionaires in Bitcoin. There are 2.5 million brand new millionaires. That don't even count the millionaires who are already millionaires who also have millions in Bitcoin. What happens to you tomorrow if they crash the New York Stock Exchange like they did in 1929, the Great Depression, and they do away with the dollar like they did away with the gold standard? What will happen to you? That's what's about to happen. That's what they're trying to make happen. And do you know the only reason why it has not happened to y'all is because Revelation 7 says, God said, hold back the winds of strife until I seal my children. So all of these invitations are your small window of opportunity to get sealed. Take your health back, take your finances back. These are all promises in the word. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper. Beloved, my in the beginning marriage The only marriage that I have sanctified. The only marriage that I have hallowed and created a whole day of worship just for this marriage. He created the Sabbath is the wedding feast and honeymoon of the first marriage. That's what the Sabbath is. The Sabbath was the wedding for Adam and Eve. Every week, 52 weeks. In our group, we marry our wives every weekend. Slumdog Pavillionaire Marriage Makers. When you sign up for this, you signing up for our calendar. When you sign up for this, you signing up to put our wives and our daughters and give them back their, in the beginning, dowry of wealth. The dowry does not belong to the men. It is the wife's wealth. The man's job is to go out and with his first fruit blessing, go out and plant, sow, and harvest. Not for somebody else on a plantation, not for anybody, for the promised abundant life harvest of wealth, annual wealth. The man and the sons are to go out and harvest. As long as that mama stays crowned, as long as that mama stays anointed, as long as that mama keeps oil in her lamp, as long as that mama keeps leading out in worship, the ground will continue to bring forth prosperity, gold, frankincense, silver, platinum, onyx, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, wheat, barley, olive oil, wine. Everything that the wife desires will come up out of that ground. Flax to make garments. This means fashion statement. And then the wife will take everything and put the industries and businesses together to take the raw materials that the husbands and the sons bring forth out of the ground all over the world. And then she will create the products and industries to turn the raw materials into goods. Ain't no Amazon. My wife and my daughters will take the raw materials that we get all over the world, that we get from our brothers and sisters. We don't do business with nobody else. Only the couples in this Slumdog Pavillionaires, intramurals. You don't got no say-so in this. We the Falcons. This is our intramural family group network. Don't nobody had no say-so in none of this. So we got a phone because our wives are the apple of God's eye. We got the apple bottom single iPhone. God said if your eye be single, then your whole body. The apple bottom single iPhone. The apple bottom single iPhone is the phone of the virtuous woman. Not a harlot. The apple bottom single iPhone. So we got a network of millionaires. My brother Thomas Felder. My brother Saucony Scott. I already got phones and tablets. I'm not talking about something that's down the road. So I'm working with a group right now. We have the #1 developer of VR goggles. Number one developer in the world of VR goggles. And so we taking the phones that we already have and the tablets that we already have, and our outreach, the meet every needs. The reason why we play in this league, we're not playing just to play, just to get paid, even though we're going to get paid higher than any league. The reason why we play is to meet every need of all of our brothers and sisters that have been unjustly incarcerated. We're ending the prison industrialized complex with the intramurals of our league. We're going to give these babies from our communities back their parents. And we're going to use our relationships and the wealth that we generate in our leagues, in our intramural league, to invest in VR goggles and the Apple bottom single iPhone, to take felons that we will tell the prison industrialized complex, let my people go. And then as we train and we prepare for our ITB Fit games, for our HolywoodGrail ITB Fit games, they will train to be reunited with their families. And just like the parole board has halfway houses and has work release and all of that, we will have stages of development. First of all, the prison industrialized complex will let our people go. They don't have no say-so in this. We are just putting together the orderly exodus of our people out of bondage. And you have phase 1, you have phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And depending on the growth and depending on how quick, if you're on an accelerated path, then you could come right out and you'll have our blessing. And what our blessing means is every need is met. I'm talking about when you finish our program and you have our blessing, you don't got to figure out how to get a job. No, you already got a house. Your child is probably playing in one of our leagues and getting paid. We will find a place for you to get paid somewhere in our leagues. We have an ascension pipeline for any segment of our community, no matter where you may be found at. Let's not forget, my family was ripped up with drugs in the mid-'80s. We have designed this for families just like mine all over the world. My family was ripped up. So my family will repair the damage for those ripped up. I have 2 grandfathers who the stress and the poverty and the tension drove them to alcoholism. I lost an uncle to cirrhosis of the liver, alcoholism. Every need will be met for those who've been abused by this system and then locked away to rot. Let my people go. We ain't giving no money to no fake Catholic Charities United Way. We ain't giving no money to no fake Catholic Charities YMCA. None of the existing charities, none of the existing philanthropy. It all is gone. It's dead. They don't got no money. Y'all gonna learn in this league that y'all are the only wealth. And when we cut ourselves off from the world, you're going to see how the world is going to rot. The world don't have no money. You physically are the economic backbone. And without this colony in the United States of America, the world has no money. China has no money. Russia has no money. Europe has no money. The Caribbean has no money. South America has no money. They all are filled with underworld activities. It's no money. It's all sex trades. It's all drugs. It's all sex tourism. It's all kidnapping all over the world. That's Babylon. The only place in the world where individuals, and the only reason they're able to launch the Elon Musk and all of them is because we are here. If Elon Musk had skills, he could go anywhere. He can't go nowhere. Won't none of these people go to Europe and start a business because ain't no money in Europe? Won't none of these people go to China and start? They start here in the U.S. and then they go there with the factories. I dare any of y'all billionaires, with y'all billions, they all know. So every last one of their industries that they're making billions off of, I'm going to show y'all. When we take our league and we take our family members and we say, yo, we need to have a car company where we buy all of our cars from. Everybody in this league, we will only buy cars from the car manufacturer in the United States of America that we control. We will only buy all of the materials for the cars from distributors who make and produce those components. Nothing, not a bolt, not a nut, not a piece of wood, not nothing will we buy from anybody that don't have the same marriage covenant and ain't in our leagues. The world is dead to us. We don't go, we're not gonna buy from none of the grocery stores. Every last one of we gonna have our own farms, and then on our compounds, we will put our stores where only our people come and shop. Our own water sources, our own banks, our own amusement parks, our own restaurants, our own planes, our own yachts, our own vacation spots, our own islands, our own everything. Our own movie studios. All of this is going to be fueled with some recreation, some couples coming together. And instead of sending people to the Olympic Games, instead of sending people to the NCAA, we're going to have our own college level. When our kids get to college level, we're going to have our own football, whatever our kids want to do. We're going to pay them higher than the NFL and NBA get paid, so that we get the best of the world over here. And what y'all don't know, them NBA players, they sign them contracts as individuals. So half of everything they get, the team, taxes, everyone, them niggas is impoverished. How greedy are those owners that they got 50 or 60 different in the NFL, they got 50 or 60, and they take half of everything. More than half. Because they so ignorant and they sign under their individual name. So they get taxed as a individual. How dumb are these athletes that y'all following? That's why years down the road, y'all think they so rich. No, the team got y'all thinking that these cats is greedy. The teams are, how is the owners taking? And listen, they ain't only taking half from their players, half of everybody that works for the team. They take half. Y'all are programmed to look at the athlete as greedy for wanting more money when it's the owner who is the greedy. Y'all letting these old nasty white folks rob baseball the same way. Half. Didn't the owners go out and they got TV contracts? They got sponsorships where all around the stadium people pay to put, and they still taking half from the. Come on, y'all. And y'all still willing to let y'all babies go and be slaves in that system? So, yo, Thomas Felder, if you want to know how to retroactively give to every member in your downline the opportunity that they missed in Bitcoin from 2011 to present day. If you want, Thomas, listen to me. If you want to retroactively give to everybody, and just think about all of the people who tried to do the business that we was in and didn't quite make it. What I'm telling you is with the entity that I created with my daughters and my youngest daughter and son, and with ET, we went into Tampa. We did a promotion called Just Own It. We're in the mentoring program with the kids in Orlando. We started a financial academy around the Just Own It principle. And so we didn't miss out on the Bitcoin transfer of wealth. My kids didn't miss out on it. And then Nipsey Hussle came in 2018, and he was the first person in our community. Everybody else was lying about it. I'm going to show y'all video after video. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. Everybody was saying it's a fraud. Don't invest in it. Don't invest in it. And then they were investing millions of it in it. And we was already looking at it. Then Nipsey Hussle comes out in 2018 and he does a whole documentary in Amsterdam, and he shows, they already got whole cities where they buying and selling everything in Bitcoin. In 2018, they had whole cities in Amsterdam. While Bill Gates and them is telling y'all it's a fraud. All of the European countries, all of the European nations, they got this dude, this little 18-year-old in Russia. He went from Canada, he went to Russia, and he built the number 2 cryptocurrency coin. All while they telling us it's a fraud. And if it wasn't for Nipsey Hussle going and doing a documentary in 2018 where they wasn't saying nothing, that's when we knew, this is real. We got to move our money where they moving their money to. So we created a BTC coin around that. Just Own It. ET and us, we had that movement called Break the Cycle. That's what our mentoring program is under. Spider Lope, who was also a part of your organization. My main man, Craig Moore, he also joined the organization with us. Several of my partners from Orlando joined our organization. More importantly, we went to Trenton, New Jersey together. Prior to doing Atlantic City and taking ET to Atlantic City, we went to Trenton together to my family's church, Mount Sinai. My older sister, my Aunt Diane, my Aunt Julie, my Uncle Bruce, all signed the contract. Do you know my Aunt Diane died shortly thereafter? My Aunt Julie died shortly thereafter. My Uncle Bruce's daughter, my Uncle Bruce's wife died. So when y'all talk about Rockefeller money, when my main queen of Brooklyn, Arkell Cox, said this is her Rockefeller money, now it's time to retroactively, Thomas, we're going to launch these phones that we have. We have a distributor who is also interested in prison ministry. He has given his life to prison ministry. My father is retiring and he is doubling down on prison ministry. So we're going to take recreation and the high level of recreation that me and my brothers have been doing and Pine Forge and Oakwood has been wasting and doing nothing with. And we're going to take our intramurals and our Pro-Am League from Chicago that my wife and I played in from 99 to 2005 in basketball and volleyball. We're going to take our Pro-Am League and our intramurals leagues and all over the country. We're going to take them same teams and we're going to create a pro level football, basketball, volleyball, track and field, boxing. And we're launching the Break the Cycle coin, the BTC coin and the Hollow coin. My wife and I, we pledged to break the cycle and create a marriage makers group. And we're launching a coin to celebrate our 25th year of marriage. It's called the Hollow coin. So the BTC coin and the Hollow coin, we're going to take the phones and the tablets that we already have. And phase one will be to get the tablets and the phones and take the goggles so that we can start our prisoners. My uncle's son, Tracy, my uncle, when we went to Trenton, saw the vision and he asked me, yo, we need, as a family, we need to do something. His son did 20 plus years and he's trying to come out, get back on his feet. And my cousin Tracy will be the first beneficiary. He will be the face. He will be the CEO of this project that will allow convicted felons to learn on a simulator and learn the economic principles that Robert Kiyosaki taught us when we was in Miami, and learn the economic principles that I've been teaching inner city kids based off of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Education since 1999. My wife and I, my children and I, have been building a economic, financial investment group that can set the captives free and break the cycle of the war on the poor, break the cycle of the war on the family, break the cycle on the war on health. We are going to use this simulator to teach our people and give our people the confidence to know that what Dr. Sebi learned from Adventism is still real and valid today. Dr. Sebi was trained, came up a Seventh-day Adventist. So the very health message that Adventism won't give to the world, Dr. Sebi already took it to the world, and the world believes the message. They just don't know it's our message. So we're going to take the health principles and the place where my family has been going for over 20 plus years, that does everything Dr. Sebi did and more. They teach you how to cook. They teach you how to can. They teach you how to cleanse. They teach you everything. And we're gonna give our people access in a simulator to learn how to do that simulation wise. We're gonna teach our people how to learn the finances, learn the technology, learn everything. We're gonna have our people train, and you can even compete and practice. The couples can practice and prepare for the ITB Fit Games. And all we need is for every last one of you millionaires and leaders of the company that we went around the country. We need y'all to, with the same fervor and intensity, how y'all rallied around ET coming to Tampa, how y'all rallied around ET coming to Atlantic City. We need y'all to rally around and put these ITB, apple of God's eye, single iPhone, in the hands of all of y'all people, in the same arrangement that company had with y'all. We want to make a better arrangement with you, Tupac, Arkell, every last one of y'all that was on that stage when ET came. Every last one of y'all that came backstage when ET was in Tampa. Lisa Nicole, every last Stan and Sharice, the whole crew, just like y'all sat as the advisory council, just as y'all sat at the advisory council, and then y'all push them products. First we need is that blueprint of those marriages that y'all have. Nowhere, Robert Kiyosaki even said it. Nowhere, ET even said it. Nowhere in business do I go into a room and see this many successful, beautiful, blessed marriages in business. That's what the Slumdog Pavillionaire Marriage Makers is. Our girl Lisa Nicole called herself a millionaire maker. We about to make y'all pavillionaire makers. You know how much a pavilion is? 32 zeros. That's right. Pavillionaire marriage makers. A pavilion is 32 zeros, homie. That's what y'all are. But when we give y'all a structure, this is what Nipsey tried to create, and he lost his life for it. He tried to step out of the system and create a standalone system and give our people. But our family group network is too big and too strong. Our family group network is too big and too strong, and our people left Nipsey out there by himself. My brothers and cousins alone. My aunts and uncles, they babies alone. Gonna make sure that this happens. But because we merged our families together, Saucony Scott and my sister, Yamara Scott and Terry, They graduated together. Listen, our families are forever connected for life. Saucony Scott got a little baby boy. Saucony and his wife, Queen, salute to the Queen, got a little baby boy. And I want to tell y'all, that you got bankers, Goldman Sachs, 2016, did a study about millennials, and they said for the first time, this is going to be the first generation that's going to be poorer than the parents. All of y'all who have propped up this economy with the millions that y'all poured into that company, you prevented this economy from crashing. And then a bank, 6 banks got bailouts and too big to fail. And then one of those banks that got a handout, ain't nobody ever give y'all no handout. Y'all woke up every single day and grew organizations. Ain't nobody give y'all a handout. It is disrespectful for Goldman Sachs to look at your children that you're raising. I'm speaking to every last one of you. Arkell Cox already lost a husband. She got beautiful children. You need to understand that you got bankers who have said, despite the hard work that you put into your children are going to be poor. Yes, that's what they said. It's their goal. While taking $500 million directly from Barack Obama. Barack Obama gave the same bank $500 million. $500 million to target and make sure that our children, who makes that kind of statement? I'm gonna show y'all the article. And how did they know that they was going to do it? Because all of them, Goldman Sachs and all of them, were investing in Bitcoin while they all were telling Chase Manhattan Bank, everybody was telling the people, yo, people use that to sell drugs because they ran the Silk Road. Then they enriched themselves. And so we want to in retrospect, go back and do back pay for all of those people that didn't quite make it in the other company. On day one, the moment that they open up, and the moment that they buy their iPhone, that makes them a shareholder of BTC coins and hollow coins. And I will explain later how when you on day one are the shareholder of thousands and thousands of BTC coins and hollow coins, which are pegged already to Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's called the index. They are pegged to not only Bitcoin and Ethereum, so Bitcoin and Ethereum could disappear. But because there are so many other assets that they're pegged to, their value is backed by a wise contract, a wise covenant. We talking about erasing the generational curse of poverty. Just like Goldman Sachs declared poverty on our children, we could give them wealth. A good man leaveth wealth to his children and children. And if each one of y'all gave every person in your downline an opportunity to get this single iPhone that will be the exclusive phone that we use in a professional league around football, basketball, on high school level, college level, elementary level, pro level. You just do the math. You just do the math. We in every urban city across the country with our intramural network of our alumni from Pine Forge and Oakwood. You already know how our alumni network is. I was a part of one of the greatest basketball teams to ever grace Oakwood University. Humbly speaking, I was part of one of the greatest generations. Same thing at Pine Forge. So the intramural framework and network that our team has established over these years is the infrastructure that we're building and launching this network on. Half of our team is in Atlanta. Another half of them is spread out over all of the hoods in the Midwest. The rest of them is out in California, at Arizona. Every hood, Texas, San Antonio, we all over. And in the fall, the same intramural schedule that we was doing in our Pro-Am League in Chicago. It starts in October, and the championship is in springtime, March, April, May. October to May, same calendar. This year, 2022, we call it a marriage. A marriage. And then all of the other leagues are under the umbrella of the couples, Mr. and Mrs. Renown, where husbands and wives compete. Like I said, I'm going to show y'all what CrossFit look like. So just imagine a husband and a wife team competing in obstacle courses for a championship level trophy. And also, the wife may play in the professional volleyball league. I may play in the football and the basketball league. Then we also have the college professional age group, the high school professional age group, the elementary professional age group. Of all of these sports, we control all of the broadcasting. Ain't no ESPN, ain't no Netflix, ain't no none of that. And if you want to see the games, you got to pay to be there in person, or you got to have the subscription to our broadcast network that's the equivalent to Netflix. Hollywood Flicks. And just like the owners of the teams, y'all will be dispersed amongst the ownership of the various teams that control this league. That's the invitation that we make in New York. Why? Because you got so many of our people in y'all network that tried to do what y'all have done. And the easiest way to get wealth directly to individuals who tried but didn't really make it. We already know those who in your network who are about it, they gonna benefit, and they gonna take this to a whole nother level. But what greater way to meet the needs of the least of these our brethren in the highways and the byways than for y'all to blast out anybody in Thomas Network, anybody in Marty and Israel Wins Network. We got the BTC coins and hollow coins. And then lastly, the icing on the cake. ET got this assessment. ET has this assessment that he does. So every single person, and the assessment simply helps everybody assess where their path is, what their strength and weakness to wealth. So every person playing in the league, in order to make sure that our people playing in the league are our people who are going to take advantage of the iPhone and investing in these coins, in order to not be like an NBA player who, after the income stops, they dead broke. We're going to have everybody take the assessment. We're going to have everybody in the network, everybody, every couple playing, every child, everybody. When you get the phone, you take the assessment. In the assessment, you get from us and ET's team a business plan. We're going to put together a business plan amongst the league where we see the skills that you bring to the table based off of the assessment. And the assessment is going to break down where your strengths and weaknesses are in yourself and how you should apply it to whatever it is you're doing. And all we saying is we got an opportunity for you to be an owner. Just own it is about full ownership. We saying we want to run a league where all of the fashion brands that we wear, we make it, we shoot the photos, the magazines, the broadcast, everything. So that means there's an opportunity for every individuals to be on any side of the business plan you want to be. On the graphic side, on the media side, on the fashion side, on the print side, on the motivation side, on the whatever. So this goes out to Saucony in the Pine Forge Network. This goes out to Thomas and Ed in the Pine Forge and Oakwood Network. This goes out to all of the people that I named. And those of y'all who I didn't name who are in that group that was in 5 links. Of course, y'all know Vince, Murphy, Jay, all of my brothers. Goes to Spider Loke and his crew. My main man, Ed. We went to LA with Thomas, Spider Loke and his crew. They signed up out there too. Retroactively, we're going to make sure that everything that y'all wanted to get out of that other company, you get double. And the bedrock, once again, the bedrock is Spider Loke got a movie called Parole. Spider Loke got a movie called Parole. And that is the dream of my uncle for his nephew who done 25 years straight in the California Penitentiary Center system. And now my uncle is trying to find a transition for his son. That movie is not just a movie to me. Spider Loke's story of parole is real in my family right now. My uncle made a call. He like, y'all over there in Trenton and y'all go-getters over there. Well, listen, this is the way. Tupac the Rent-A-Cord got a brother who was down. I don't even know if your brother is out or not, but Tupac, your main man that was in jail, and many others like him. We saying we creating a league that's going to generate revenue, and we're going to invest the revenue, the abundance, the blessings into taking control of a prison industrialized complex that is profiting off of the suffering of our people. We saying we going to take back the policing of our own neighborhoods. We're going to take back the rehabilitation, the intervention and rehabilitation. We're going to take full control of violence intervention. All of these organizations all over that's taking money from the government. The government is now paying people to not commit crime. Yo, federal government can't be connected to our cities. Federal government can't be connected to our communities at all. We're going to show them how to properly intervene. When we pay our people what they're worth, our people is going to live the lives that they always dreamed of. The only reason that our people stoop to what they stoop to is because the government and the nation and the country, the only low-hanging fruit that they have left our people, the only option that they have left is crime. And y'all going to stop rewarding the predator and blaming the victim. Globalization is billions of dollars of industries that was gutted simultaneously out of every inner city community, just like they gentrify to simultaneously. They extracted the wealth and sent it overseas simultaneously. You can't do that in Detroit, in Cleveland, in Chicago, in Brooklyn, in Trenton. You can't do that all over the country, in LA, unless you have a coordinated federal government plan that was implemented. And then y'all want to blame people for crime when they stole the wealth by sending to China the industries, and then they leave all of the shops here. So they say, spend your money. We're going to reward the Chinese for having slave trade and sweatshops. And y'all just going to keep buying the products? No, we're not buying them products. We're not buying the products. Just like Nike and them did the same thing when they created their things. When MTV and them just launched, they wouldn't let any other logos be shown. They wouldn't let any other show. Matter of fact, when the Dream Team, when the so-called Dream Team went to the Olympics, and they had they sweats was Reebok. They sweats was Reebok. Nike made them put the flag over their thing. They couldn't even go to the podium and get they. Listen, man, these cats been gang banging over their logos and marketing to launch their companies, and y'all have sat by and let them extract wealth from you, who are the face behind that. Yo, that's over with over here. So if y'all want to sit at the table, let me tell you how much wealth we talking about. Annually, we talking about $12 trillion with a T. $12 trillion. That's only 25%. That's only 25% of the potential that's being wasted in our community. $12 trillion annually. This is an annual pie. I'll give you the industries. The sports industry. Estimated size of the entire sports industry in the U.S. is $49.8 billion. $49.8 billion in the U.S. annually. That's just the sports industry. AAU, they make 10 billion, 10.6 billion off of AAU. And your inner city kids pay to play AAU. That's where the 10 billion comes. You mean to tell me that they taking $10 billion worth of wealth out of the most poor people in order for them to play? Something wrong with that. Nike makes $300 million off of AAU alone. The global sports industry makes $1.5 trillion every year. The number 2 industry that goes into $12 trillion annual is self-help, self-improvement. We got the number 1 motivational speaker in the world. Number 1 motivational speaker in the world. They extracting $10 billion out of what ET is doing. Do you know how many people, lives we could change if we only used our people? There ain't nobody else in self-help but ET. There's no such thing as any other option. Because I'm going to tell ET what them other dudes is doing too. The other billionaires and trillionaires, they already got them other clowns written into their budgets. They already know that in order to stay in their tax bracket, to not pay any taxes, they have to spend a certain amount of hundreds of millions of dollars. And so the only way to spend that amount of money and be able to write it off on taxes is to write Tony Robbins' big mega thing where they allow them to charge them top dollar. So they'll rather pay Tony Robbins $50 million to write off 500 million. So they don't have to pay 500 million in taxes. They would rather pay Tony Robbins 50 million, and then 20 of them will write them into their budget. He is not. Nobody has ever done what you have done. Start with nothing. Nobody on their level, Zig Ziglar, all of them dudes have been written into each other's tax evasion, and they all use each other. When Zig Ziglar want to write off his taxes, he gonna use one of their ancillary companies, and he gonna bring them in and pay them top dollar, so he don't have to pay the taxes that goes to help the least of these. There is no motivational speaker ever in history that has started homeless and grown to a multi-million dollar with no help. No, listen, man, stop running around here acknowledging chicken soup for the soul. Dr. Martin Luther King told you, the federal government, I'll put the video in here. The federal government paid the European peasants. They taught them how to farm. They gave them land grants. They created land grant colleges. They gave them no interest loans. Then they paid them not to farm. Dr. Martin Luther King told y'all that in 1967, and they killed him. There has never been anybody. All of these dudes with The Secret and all of these dudes. Carnegie was the first dude who, in order to call himself a philanthropist, to not put money back into taxes, he was the first dude who created the self-help industry, and he started paying his little flunkies to come in and talk to his workers so he could write it off as a business expense. Carnegie, the biggest dude who contributed to convict leasing, There's no way he could have laid the railroad tracks from end to west without slave labor. State funded slave labor. So the state would arrest us after slavery. Carnegie would come and pay. This is where the prison industrialized complex got, where our people get paid 25 cents. Carnegie, Pennsylvania would give Carnegie 1,000 employees. He would work them to death. More people died. Slavery by another name. More people died laying the railroad tracks. More people died under convict leasing. The states became the plantations. Your governors of the so-called 50 states became the plantation owners, and the big businesses, the Rockefellers and them with their oil, convict leasing. How they built all of them oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico, convict leasing. People of color was locked up for loitering, vagrancy. They was just lying and locking us up, so that when Carnegie came and said, yo, I need 500 workers. And that's how they was balancing their budgets in the South. And then to not pay taxes, Carnegie created the self-help industry. So please, don't nobody ever better not mention not another name. Nobody better not ever mention another name. Why do you think Warren Buffett comes to see you, Eric? He cannot believe his daddy got handouts to invest in Wall Street, yo. His daddy. Y'all better not ever put nobody next to my dude who, out of the sheer anointing of the Holy Ghost and the power of the Most High God. That's why Warren Buffett comes to see you. That's why the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers needs you, because he knows. They all know. Can't nobody do what you did. You ain't got to give them niggas no credit. Take their money, do what you do. You ain't got to give nobody no credit. Can't nobody do what you done. We don't even speak them clowns' name. They all welfare babies. Straight up. Running around here like they ain't inspiring nobody. The only reason why it's people in front of them is because they pay. Listen, the person that's paying them, they make sure that all of their people is there so they can get a head count and they can write off all them. They ain't inspiring nobody. They ain't inspiring nobody. So just to let y'all know, e-commerce goes into the 12 trillion. Global publishing goes into the 12 trillion. Surgical robotics, global robotic technology. We talk about science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. These are all things that we have built in the Break the Cycle network. So these all go into the industry. Direct sales, that's what y'all was doing in 5 links. Direct sales, $36 billion. Global wellness, this is the one. Global wellness. Complementary and alternative medicine is $200 billion industry. So the rich, this is telling you that the rich ain't, listen, They not listening to none of this fake contagion. This is only for you poor people. Complementary alternative medicine, $200 billion. The rich people, this is a poor people's Holocaust. Y'all might as well understand that y'all are in the ghettos of Germany. Y'all all are Poland right now. In the United States of America, y'all are Poland. Listen, they ain't the wealthy people around the world. They ain't taking this contagion. They not doing none of this. This is all y'all poor people in the United States of America. All y'all Democrats. Because in the United States of America, the Rand Paul and the Republicans with Donald Trump, they telling y'all straight up, yo, we ain't doing none of that. And because they don't need the federal government, they don't work for the federal government, they can say that and they don't have to do it. This is what Just Own It is about. When you own, this is all they're saying. If you're a government dependent, we're going to make our government tell you how to live. If you need me to employ you, when you got access to a covenant with God that will give you abundant life, we are going to rule you just like we have ruled every other slave. Just Own It says, when you join our league, we're going to tell them in the world, don't come over here. We're going to talk to them just like Rand Paul talked to Biden. We're going to talk to the whole world just like Donald Trump talks to Biden. We're going to talk to Donald Trump and everybody with Donald Trump and Rand Paul and everybody around the world. The only reason that y'all go for that is because y'all believe that these white folks believe like y'all believe. There's nothing that you have in common with them. There is nothing that they do to benefit you. So why would you order your life? Do you know anybody in this Center for Disease Control? Do you know anybody in the Food and Drug Administration? Do you know how many under the table bribes they take? Do you know how many people lobby them and pay them money? Do you know how diabolical? That is the mafia. That is the mafia. The same mob that was killing people dead in the streets, the same mob that ran liquor in, that is the mafia. DC is the mafia. If you believe that Al Capone has your best interest at heart, then follow what's coming out of DC. If you believe Ted Bundy and the serial killers of the past have your best interest at heart, then keep following Biden and the presidency and the Trump. Everybody that goes in that office is Ted Bundy, is the mafia, and their only one goal is to enrich them and their family with corruption, crime, violence. That's who they are. And it is insanity for you to be the only people who talk about we equal, when nothing that they have ever done, because they ain't equal to us. They need us for everything. You lose when you claim equality. You lose when you claim their constitution when you got a covenant. You lose. And I'm telling you, when we do this internally, this 12 trillion will turn into 48 trillion. And we're going to give them $12 trillion to leave the United States of America and never come back. We're going to give them $12 trillion. We're going to give all of y'all NBA slaves $12 trillion to get out of our way. because we don't want them thinking that how they control y'all. We don't want them believing that the people that play in our league, that applies to us. So y'all got to get out of our country. Y'all can take y'all NBA, y'all whole NBA. Y'all love China so much, take it to China. Y'all hate our image so much, we not changing. Matter of fact, everybody in our league, we're going to wear cornrows like Allen. We're going to go straight back to the Allen Iverson, and we're going to cause the last great white flight. Y'all can go ahead and fly on wherever y'all want to go. And all y'all black people that want the Europeans, fly with them. The last great black and white flight. It's called the Brexodus. Everybody, we going back to the Allen Iverson days. If the NBA hate that so much, and the NFL hate that so much, and y'all church people in Pine Forge, y'all hate that image, that's exactly what we want. We going right back to the cornrows, tattoos. We going straight to cornrows and tattoos all day, every day. No more suits. Straight hip hop every time. Listen. Man, look on the outward appearance. God look on the heart. God say he don't care nothing about. When we get his Holy Ghost, he don't care nothing about. And so whatever the European wants us to look like, that is exactly what we ain't gonna look like. So they promoting transgender, transhuman, then we are promoting the in the beginning covenant of marriage. That's it. That's all we want to see. That's all we want to hear. We love all of our people, no matter what it is you doing. Listen, I used to rob cats. I used to steal from cats. I used to stick niggas up. I used to do all of that. Get high, get drunk, break the Sabbath. And just like I went through a transformation and a transfiguration, I got faith in all of my people and all of my loved ones who are in their phases. I got faith in all of my people and all of my loved ones that at some point, just like the word of God say, Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature, and Samuel grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. And just like it says, when I was young, I did childish things, but when I'm old, I put away. It is my belief. We don't spend no time. All we do is raise the bar and tell our people this is where the bar is. Wherever you are right now, was I right in robbing people when I was in college? No, I wasn't. And I would have never gone nowhere and told people that I was right and justified for robbing people. And that's all we ask from our people. When you live in lifestyles that you live in, don't let these white and black liars who simply want to deceive people so they can live out their nasty, perverted urges. These cats is predators. Do not let them use you. Do not let them use you. You're making a choice to live a lifestyle. Say that. Do not let some liars come and tell you God did this, God loved that. God don't love it. God said, I hate the deeds. God hated when I was lying and robbing niggas and when I was getting drunk and high. God hated it. He hated then, he hated now. And my wife hated it too. So when she kept saying, this ain't what I signed up for, I knew I had to make a choice to grow. And everybody has to make that same choice. Do not let them use you and do not let them lie to you. You may be practicing an abominable lifestyle and just say that. Spiritually, I'm just immature right now. Just say that. And when they get around these babies and they try and promote that lifestyle, make sure that you let babies around you and you let these cats, these predators, know you're not going to use me, homie. You're not going to use me. We all know what right and wrong is. And yo, it's plenty of times niggas steal, niggas. Y'all don't try and make no other wrong acceptable, but that which the predators want as their choice lifestyle. Y'all don't do that with adultery. Y'all don't do it with that. Y'all don't do that with no other thing. But because their priesthood is around victimizing, the whole Roman Catholic Church is built off of sexual offerings. That's why it's called an altar boy. Sexual offerings. That's why it's called Sodom and Gomorrah. So don't let these predators use y'all, whether you practicing them lifestyles or not. And that's the difference between a predator and we call it recreational drug use. That's the difference. Recreational same-sex recreation. Meaning, yo, I'm admitting to you that I'm immature right now. This is just a phase. That's why they have that term, recreational drug use. And then that's why individuals, after they finish with that phase, they go through a process of trying to get cleaned up. This is exactly what they call it. I got to get clean. Recreational drug use. Nobody's running around trying to sell to the world that being a heroin addict is divine, is righteous. This is a righteous lifestyle. God loves, yo, being a heroin addict and destroying your body that way is identical to destroying your body sexually. They're identical. There's no difference in the destruction of your body through poisons. That includes this pestilence shot. It is no different than you letting them sell you heroin. The same people that make heroin, they make that pestilence shot. The same exact people that make oxycodone make heroin. The same people that make heroin make cocaine. The same people that make cocaine, they make amphetamines. The same people that make meth on the street and Ritalin, what they prescribe to your children, it's made by the same drug companies. They just give the street version of it one name, and then they give it to you when they give it to you through the pharmacy, a different name. It's the same people. All of your drugs come from the same people. Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, heroin, cocaine, meth and Ritalin are the same thing. What? Amphetamines, speed, and what they've been giving your children is the same exact drug. And this pestilence, this solution to the pestilence is another, just like when they got the junkies hooked on heroin in Vietnam, They came back and they said, you know what? Okay, we're going to give you a state delivered methadone. And methadone was more addictive than heroin. And the only difference is they line up to the state and they can't get no benefits unless they're on methadone. The number one drug dealer in the world has been the federal government. There's more people receiving methadone since the 70s. The number one drug dealer in the world is the federal government of the United States. And because y'all been letting them have their cake and eat it too, they just came all the way out the closet this time. They have been administering drugs that are more addictive than heroin to thousands of people since the 70s. The greatest criminal, the greatest genocide ever in the history of Earth has been perpetrated by Washington, D.C. against the people of color in the United States of America. Every politician is guilty. Every politician. What's even worse is they get lobbied. They take money not to give the people an antidote and a solution. They take money from the banks, from business people, to generation after generation to not get in the way they are criminals. At the city level, at the local level, that's the amateur leagues. That's why before you can come to DC, you got to join a secret order called the Knights of Columbus. So everybody that goes from the local level to the national level, I'm talking about congressmen and senators, and the congressmen and senators are paid for life, and they have security details because they're criminals. They're absolute criminals. And they couldn't do what they do without the local level people. But because y'all still tell yourself the lie, and then y'all prop up them, they could not manage us. If you cut DC and you cut the governors off, and then we each managed our families, our streets, our communities, our neighborhoods, our towns, our estates, they would get right back on the boats, right back on the planes, and go on back to Europe. But as long as you keep paying them taxes and tithe, you're going to be a slave forever.